haven't updated you guys in about a week now of what's happening with my pregnancy. I am 36 weeks and 3 days pregnant, so baby is still on the inside since the last time you guys saw me. My last update, I was in the hospital. As you guys can see now, I am at home. I'm actually sitting in my room at the moment, and I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update as to what's happening with my birth plan, what's happening since I've left the hospital, what's happening with like contractions and baby and everything like that, and appointments, because there has been a lot that's happened since I was discharged. I was discharged Friday last week, and the last time you guys would have seen my update would have been Thursday. So a lot's happened in a week. So usually I would tell you guys on the Ovia app how big baby's gonna be. 36 weeks, it's really unpredictable. Everyone's babies are completely different sizes. My baby is over the 3 kilo mark, but I haven't had them weighed since I was in hospital, even though I've had other scans since then. So it's going to vary depending on the person and their baby as to how much they weigh at the moment. And being so close to full term now, the same goes for their length as well. So for those of you who don't know why I was hospitalized last week, I spent Monday to Friday in hospital, and I have got those updates on my channel as to why I had to stay there for the week. But Friday they decided to send me home, and they gave me a different medication to try for my chest pain because the other one wasn't keeping up with it. That new medication has worked, and over the course of the days that I came home, I came off all my other like pain medications and Phenergan and all of that, because I was noticing that they were decreasing baby's movements and making them really sleepy. So I was having to kind of put up with a bit more pain in order for them to not be so drowsy, because obviously you don't want your baby movements to decrease. So Sunday and Monday I had CTGs done. Monday I also had a scan to check on baby, and they were happy at that point with the fluid around baby and their movements and all of that. My contractions have died back from what they were last week, because they did get to every 2.5 minutes last week. But now they've gone back to being irregular, and sometimes they're as close as 10 minutes apart, other times they can be as far as like 20-25 minutes apart. So there's no close regular pattern at the moment. So Tuesday I went in and saw the doctors, and they did another bedside scan there. When they did the belly measurement with the tape measure though, my belly was measuring a week behind, which was one of the things that started to happen with Hunter when I started to lose fluid in the 3rd trimester, and I lost it really quickly with him. So I'm going to have to make sure that they continue to keep an eye on that. And I have got more scans coming up, which I'll explain in a second. So basically the doctors have decided that with all the complications that have been going on, this week I basically was on bed rest over the weekend, and then now I'm kind of like easing back into normal. So I can't pick Hunter up or anything, but like I can kind of walk around a little bit, and I just have to try not to go into labor before 37 weeks. But once I hit 37 weeks, I'm free to do as much or as little as I feel like, because they would ideally like me to have baby before 39 weeks. Baby is getting quite big. They're 88th percentile, could even have gone up another percentile again, because like I said, they haven't like done a new growth at this point. But they have decided that they don't want to do an induction before 39 weeks, because they've decided that the Pitocin drip is too dangerous on my scar to try and attempt before then. So what they would like is for me to go into spontaneous labor before 39 weeks, which, even though I went into spontaneous labor with my son at 37 and 2, doesn't mean that I will again this time. Even though I did, obviously, like you guys saw in my previous videos, I went into labor last week at 35 weeks, which they had to stop. But you know, it's not that predictable to see if I'll go into it again. I guess we'll be doing a lot of walking next week to try and bring that on. But at 39 weeks, baby will be getting quite big for my body, and there'll be like quite a lot of pressure on my scar and that. So at 39 weeks, the chances are that I'd probably more than likely have to go with a C-section instead of a VBAC, although I can still technically attempt a VBAC, but it won't be necessarily as safe at that point because baby will be getting quite big for my pelvis, and I do have a lot of gynecological issues that mean that I can't necessarily have a big baby because it'll make a lot of other things worse. So yeah, from Monday onwards for 2 weeks, it'll be basically try and get this baby out. And that's going to be interesting. So you guys are obviously going to have to keep an eye on my channel and my Instagram, because on my Instagram I'll let you guys know if I go into labor before then, but baby's birth announcement and all that won't go on there. That'll go on the channel here, so you'll have to make sure that you're subscribed here to receive that notification. So 39 weeks for me would be the 19th of August, which they are going to organise next week on Monday or Tuesday, an induction date or a C-section, whichever I decide to go with, and then basically pray and hope that baby comes before then, so that it's a little bit better on my body, because obviously spontaneous labour is ideal when you want to go into labour because it means that your body's doing it all itself, although I don't like the idea of spontaneous labour because I don't like the idea of going into labour at home and not being in a controlled environment, but whatever is going to be the best chances, I guess, of it working. So I was thinking if you guys would like to comment down below a date between now and the 19th of August and have a little bit of a guess as to when baby's going to be born, what gender they're going to be, and what their weight's going to be. So for a little bit of a hint, baby was 3020 grams last week on Tuesday. So they're going to average out about 230 grams extra a week in growth. And for those of you who are from overseas, 450 grams is a pound. So you can guess in kilos, pounds, grams, whatever you'd like to guess. But I thought it'd be a bit of fun if we all guessed like a date that baby's going to be born, their gender and their weight, because I can't do this with my family obviously because we're not going to be telling them about baby until after they're born. So I actually don't have a date to guess, but so that I can join in with you all, I'm going to put in a guess for the 13th of August, which is a Tuesday, so not next week but the week after, and I'm going to guess that they'll be 3.6 kilos, and I'm going to guess a boy. So whatever your guesses are, let me know in the comments down below. I thought this would just be a little bit of a fun thing to do, and when I do have baby I'll go back through and see who was right or who was closest, and I just thought that that would be a fun thing for us all to do. So the doctor's plan from now until birth, I had a CTG today at the clinic, and then I have another one on Monday and another scan, and then I see the doctors again on Tuesday. So I'll see them every Monday and Thursday for CTGs, scans on Mondays, and doctors on Tuesdays. So I'll see them about 3 times a week. But obviously there's only so many appointments that can be because baby will be born anytime in the next 2.5 weeks. So they haven't done any more cervix checks, haven't even looked to see if I've dilated any more since I left the hospital because they didn't want to risk putting me into labour before 37 weeks. Obviously they want baby's lungs to be at like their best that they can be. So I have no idea if I've like continued to progress. My contractions that I've been having are getting worse and worse, but no regular, so they are waking me up of a night time. They are incredibly painful, and some of them do like take my breath away, but I'm not in labour, they're not regular, so we'll just have to wait for that, I guess. I am getting a little bit paranoid though about the thought of my waters breaking, so it's kind of like I don't want to wear any really nice like underwear or bottoms or anything like that. So the other day I did actually go and buy some like $2 pairs of underwear to just keep wearing because I did not want to destroy them. Something I do want to point out with my hospital bag is that I am so glad that I had packed a towel because their hospital towels didn't even wrap around me properly. And I am quite a small person compared to your average mother that's going into maternity ward. So I highly recommend having your own towel when you do go in there, because I couldn't even, like wrap it around me properly. It was like the size of a foot mat. So definitely make sure that you have that in there. I have now gone and purchased the snacks for my hospital bag. I got lollies, I got Pringles, I got chips, I got like a heap of random stuff. I got Oreos, all of that. Made sure that there's coffee in there for Tom, made sure that there's hot chocolate in there for me. So I know that they have ice chips and water on the ward, so I didn't bother packing that, although if I go into labour at home, I'll probably take a drink bottle in with me. Otherwise, I'll just get them to keep like topping up cups for me. But that is my one tip, is make sure you do have a towel in there, because yeah, their towels are just absolutely tiny. Something else that I've purchased and added to my hospital bag is this, like, it's kind of like a cross between a dressing gown and a cardigan, and it does actually have a hood on it, but it's like a really nice soft, almost like track pant material. So it does actually, like, it could pass as a dressing gown or as a cardigan, which I thought was good, because if I was walking across to like NICU or anything like that, it didn't look like I was in my PJs. But it's also not too thick, so I can layer my clothing, and it doesn't matter if it's like only just a little bit cold, I can put it on, or if I'm freezing, you know, I can have my other layers on and then put this over. And it's just got a little loose waistband on it. I think that's it for what I've added to my hospital bag. I did add in like a couple of extra of those bras that you guys would have seen in my hospital bag video, because I actually went and got my mum to buy more of them because they ended up being so comfortable in the hospital. And yeah, so I got her to buy me some more of those. I also got her to buy me one that was basically the same but with a zipper in the front of it, so if I do end up with a C-section, I don't have to worry about lifting my arms up to put it on. I can just put it over the top and zip it up. This Saturday is our birth class, so that goes for 6 hours, and I am going to find that a little bit of a struggle. Hopefully we're not on our feet for the whole thing, because I can't really stand more than a couple of minutes. Everything is just like kind of swollen and sore, and it does hurt to walk. I do find that if I walk too far, like, I set off the contractions and stuff like that, so can get quite uncomfortable, although I'm not at that point where I'm like, get this baby out, like I'm so in so much pain, which at this point with Hunter I definitely was at that point. Like, I was in a significant amount of pain that I just wanted, like, was ready for him to come, whereas at the moment it's like I'm really sore and uncomfortable, but like I could probably hang out like another week. My sciatica has been flaring up a lot the last couple of days, and I guess that's just from the way that baby has been moving their head. I have had so much lightning crutch, and the weirdest thing is I always thought lightning crutch was just like to your front. I didn't realize that it actually went to like your bum as well. So it literally feels every now and then, whenever Bub like moves their head a certain way, like I'm getting electric shock to my ass. Which, yeah, was really funny, because on the weekend I was referring to it as lightning ass or lightning butt like the whole weekend, and Tom and my mum were like pissing themselves laughing because they thought that that was absolutely hilarious. Because yeah, they'd make me laugh, and then all of a sudden I'd like feel like this electric shock, which was very uncomfortable. So the next 2 weeks, once I hit 37 weeks, obviously I'm going to be trying to get myself into labour, so I'll be trying a heap of different things. I will not be trying castor oil, because that is just extremely dangerous, and I know that it can cause baby on the inside to poo and have the meconium and then go septic, so I won't be trying that one. But if you guys have any other tips, like fun ones or anything, let me know. I'll try the walking, I'll try things like the pineapple and spicy foods and all of that. I'm sure I'm going to be loving spicy foods because I love spicy food, so I'll just eat as much of that as I can. But obviously, you know, baby comes when they're ready, so I do realise that there is a chance that baby may be stubborn and try and stay in there. But given they did try and come at the beginning of last week, would not be surprised if I end up having baby next week or the week after, just spontaneously anyway. TMI, but I've still been losing my mucus plug, not in like massive amounts, just lots of like little bits here and there, but no bleeding or anything. So that's like a little bit frustrating because I'm kind of like, okay, is baby coming, is baby not coming? Don't know. Even though I want them to hang out till 37 weeks, I don't really want to have a baby before 37 weeks just because I want to avoid the NICU as much as possible, and I want to make sure that their blood sugar levels are okay. And yeah, but I don't particularly want to go to 39 weeks because I don't necessarily want to be birthing a massive baby. My husband was 11 pound, I was 8 pound 10, I think, but I was overdue. So hopefully this baby is not too huge, but they definitely are going to be bigger than Hunter was. So I think that's basically it. I still can't really pick Hunter up, can't do like any of the housework or anything like that. Kind of still just sets me off. So thankfully my mum's down here, she's looking after Hunter and the house and everything like that, so I can kind of chill out a little bit more and sleep in of a morning, and then just kind of focus on my appointments and playing with Hunter and stuff like that. So not long now, only a maximum of 2.5 weeks until we have got a new baby, which blows my mind to think that there's going to be 2 children. I have the bassinet behind me, which you guys haven't even seen yet. We finally got it all organised, and Hunter's cot's right here, so they're going to be sleeping right next to each other, and our bed's on this side. So crowded house in our room, but thankfully the new heaters that we got are working amazing in our room, so that should work out okay. Don't forget to leave your guesses of the date that baby's going to be born, sometime between now and the 19th of August. Your guess on the gender and their weight, and I can't wait to share with you guys our birth announcement when we reveal their gender and name to you all. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Oh, and one last thing, I'll show you guys where my belly is at before I forget. So for 36 weeks, this is currently where we are at, and baby has dropped a little bit. I'll see you guys in the next video.